Hello, my dear students. Uh, I am here to present a class lecture for the paper Geol oblique 2 oblique FC oblique 09 Historical Geology for semester 2. Paleontology topic is paleontology, definition, fossils, mode of preservation and its utility. This is from on behalf of Department of Geology, Mizoram University. So we will continue this in addition to the online study material given on the website. This now fossils are remains or traces of post organisms that have been preserved by nature. The word fossil is Latin and actually means obtained by digging, which makes sense because they are often buried. Paleontology is the study of prehistoric life, primarily conducted through the analysis of fossils. The fate of most organic material produced by living systems is to be decomposed to carbon dioxide and water and recycled into biosphere. But how they are preserved then? The fossils are preserved in sedimentary rocks. Most of the rare types of fossils preservation is where unaltered soft parts are preserved. Like this one. These soft parts are also preserved in this. The most rare types of fossils preservation is where unaltered soft parts are preserved. The preservation of soft part is rare because how easily this type of material decays. The dead organism must be mummified, and that is organisms must be entirely removed from any exposure to oxygen, wind, air, water, etc. Some examples of mummified include the preservation of organisms in ice, amber, peat, tar, etc. Like this. Others are like other mode of preservations I will give you. Fossils can be preserved as unaltered hard parts. This occurs when some portion of organisms is preserved just as it was in life. Some examples of unaltered hard parts would be aragonite or calcite in marine invertebrates. Silica is some marine corals shells. So silica means SiO2, calcite means CaCO3. So this is how the preserved unaltered hard parts. This is the picture of that type of preservation. Now altered preservation means the original composition of the hard parts is changed. Now the recrystallization. In this type of preservation, the mineral composition of original hard part is recrystallized without change in the chemical composition. Means if it is calcium carbonate, then it will remain calcium carbonate, but it will be recrystallized. Now, during the process, microscopic crystal structure and internal details of the fossil is lost. However, external details may be preserved, what we call morphology. A good example of this process can be seen in marine invertebrate shells and have been altered from shiny mother of pearl looking aragonite into more dull looking calcite. Now, replacement. The original composition of hard parts is here the changed. Altered hard parts. In this type of preservation, the mineral composition of fossil is replaced by another mineral. Here, particle by particle replacement maintains the internal structure of fossil, for example, ridges, etc., on the fossil surface. A good example of this replacement of wood by the silica. Silica means SiO2, and wood is biological, inorganic, organic composition, but it is changed into inorganic composition by particle replacement into SiO2, the silica. It is called petrified wood, and that photograph is given here and here as well. Now, permineralization, altered hard parts. This type of preservation occurs when the empty spaces within bone shells are filled with another mineral to make it harder and more resistant. So, more resistant, therefore, it can preserve in the rocks. Otherwise, if it is not resistant, then it will be removed and we don't have any remains of the organisms present in the past. So it has to be harder and resistant so that we can get the fossils. The most common permineralizing agents are the composition, the silica and the calcium carbonate. Silica means SiO2, calcium carbonate. Mostly the permineralization takes place when the hard parts is changed, either siliceous in composition or calcite, carbonate in composition. Permineralization can occur where the original material still exists and only the pore spaces is filled, like when vertebrate bones are filled with silica. Vertebrate are the another type of fossils. We have invertebrates as well as vertebrate fossils. Carbonization, altered soft parts. The soft part of the leaves or organisms present there are carbonized, means changing into carbon. This type of preservation occurs when the majority of organisms breaks down and only a thin film of dark black carbon or organic residue is left behind, leaving carbonized traces or outlines of the organisms on the faces of the shale beds. It occurs mostly with leaves and fishes. The photographs is here. We have the fossil of leaves, the Glossopteris, Gangamopteris, like this. So this is the type of preservation is carbonized preservation. Now mold and cast. Here an additional way that we can preserve the body structure, morphological characteristics of an organism is by preserving it as a mold or cast. During this process, the original organism is usually destroyed, but an accurate and detailed impression of its external or internal characteristics is preserved, like this. Here, mold and cast, they are reciprocal to each other. Where we have elevations, we have depressions, and where we have depressions in the original structure, we have elevations in the mold and cast. Here there are two photographs which we can see the mold and cast, how they look like. During this process, the original organism is usually destroyed, but an accurate and detailed impression of its external or internal characteristics are preserved. Like this. He is very interesting, and most of the fossils are looking like this. Now, we come to utility of the fossils. The oldest fossils on the earth are about 3.8 billion years old, or almost a billion years younger than the planet of the earth, origin of the earth. Means lives are recorded only after some time from the origin of the earth. The life is not recorded as soon as the earth is present. So after some gap, life exists on this, and we have records almost a billion years younger than the planet itself. Now, dating layers of the earth. Fossils are used for what's called biostratigraphic correlation, which allows researchers to match the layers of rocks in different locations by age, based on how similar the fossils in each rock layer are. Like we have some fossil present in Jurassic of Kutch, and then we have same fossils in other parts of the world, then we can say that these set of rocks are deposited in a similar time, because same type of life is recorded within the strata, the sedimentary beds. So those sedimentary beds which have a similar type of fossil records may be correlated with each other, recognizing as the same or similar age. Now, documenting changes, how the earth has changed over time. This is another area where fossil supply valuable evidence. We have all the lives, not all the lives, but whatever records we have, we can see how the life has evolved during the time. The type of fossils found in particular location tells us that what kind of environment existed when the fossils was formed. When fossils were formed and beds are also deposited, then during those process of deposition of beds, the fossils are trapped in the within the bedding plane, and they are recorded for the geologists to study them for their evolution, for their relative age, correlation, etc. The type of fossils found in particular location tells us what kind of environment existed, whether it is marine or it is equestrian or it is made by aeolian wind or it is made by glaciers, or the environment we also know from the study of fossils. If there is a fossil of marine animals like brachiopods in the sandstone in the backyard, it can be inferred that there must once been an ocean. If we have this area of Mizoram, there are sedimentary rocks, and we have so many fossils in our sedimentary beds. So if there is a fossil of an organism which is marine, which is found in oceans, then we can infer that these rocks were, when they were under formation, under development, then those period there must be some ocean, and today they are on the ground surface, and people are residing and urban infrastructure is developed on this. But the sandstone in backyard, if brachiopod is found, it means it can be inferred that there must be once been an ocean. Fossil and oil. Fossils also have practical and commercial applications. Coal, oil, gas, themselves called fossil fuels. Fossil fuels normally are actually the remains of the previously present organisms like coal and gas. They are, because they are formed from the organic remains of prehistoric organisms. Mostly we believe that the coals are formed from the trees or jungles, or submerged, and then we got this carbonaceous age. That particular age, most of the coal are developed during this age, and mostly they are oil and coal. They are supposed to be developed originated from the organic remains of prehistoric organisms. Evolution. Evolution is also we can study from the fossils. One of the most important functions of fossils from scientific perspective is that they constitute one line of evidence for understanding evolutions. If we compare the fossils from one age to other age, to younger age, older age and younger age, we have recorded there are some evolutionary objects present in the fossils of the younger age than the previous age, older age. So there is a evolution, and there is a evolution of this. In this we have evolution of horse is very important. We have remains. Evolution of human being also are very important, and this way these fossil studies are helpful for our studies, and this is the something about the utility of the fossils. Now we finish this lecture here, and then we have uploaded the sedimentary supporting documents on the website in the historical geology paper in the on the internet website, and then you are supposed to be there and study them and prepare the assignments accordingly for the first internal examination, that is we call C1 exam. And then in the coming days I will upload some more lectures over there, and you are supposed to go regularly on the website the courses which are framed there. And not only second semester, fourth semester students are also are allowed to visit, and they are advised to visit frequently to the website, so that the C1 first internal examination and second internal examination may be conducted. So according to online sources, WhatsApp group is also there, so you have to update your instructions which are coming on online, and then how you are supposed to respond through WhatsApp group or through online itself. Thank you.